are as deep as the ocean and as wide as the sea. The understanding that one needs to have as a student of literature is that the world itself is a book to be read. Every moment of life has to be cherished. The lessons of life and living which have to be taken and absorbed as students of literature. Education is not merely for living, but for a fuller life, a worthwhile life, a meaningful life. And these students have added value, they have added meaning to their lives by participating in the Literary Fest 2022. I think, it would be most fitting if once again, if we could join our hands and give them a thunderous round of applause. That you have desired to know. As they say, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The real kingdom, the kingdom of knowledge, the kingdom of understanding, the kingdom of appreciation. Sister Deus Maria, right from day one, they began with the inaugural session. The inaugural session, we had the good fortune of having the principal of Ranabao Arts College, Professor Kamlesh Moonbati sir. He had made a few observations. We began with that opening ceremony, and in the opening ceremony again, we had again wonderful performances there. And one of the highlights was the fancy dress competition. The students dressed up in various characters. I'll be happy if you can all come up. Please come up. Please fill up the chairs. I don't like the chairs being empty. And if we have anybody here in the audience or in the on the sides of, please, I'll be happy if all of you can come in front. Please fill up the chairs. The chairs should not be empty. The chairs should not be empty. It might be a small group, but etiquette is something which is so very important and crucial in our understanding of life and literature. To know is one thing that we learn, man. To do. One of the purposes, sister, of having the Literary Fest is that although they are in the same institution, although they are in FY, SY and TY, they do not get an occasion to bond with each other. This is bonding time. As islands, we can all live our lives. But then it's so very important, what is said that we should learn how to live in a society. The lessons of life to be learned. We have to move towards social progress. Social cohesion, how to bond with each other. There are students of FY who would have just seen their TY friends. The students of TY who would have just seen their SY and FY. But if the bonding was not there, and the right competition wherein they reached out to their childhood, and then the treasure hunt, the students were so involved. They really got passionate about it now. They were really passionate about it, and we had Dr. Nain sir, giving them some wonderful words of wisdom about having a very high degree of sportsman's spirit. This is the bonding. At the end of it, you will find that you know your friends much more better. It's so very important. As individuals, perhaps we don't know enough of ourselves, let alone know our neighbor. One of the questions that we had in the quiz competition, the treasure hunt was followed by a quiz competition, wherein we took up some of the questions from the sacred books of the world. Whether it's the Bible, the Holy Bible, whether it's the Ramayana, the Upanishads, the Puranas, they're all treasure houses. And fundamental, we need to have that fundamental knowledge of some of these scriptures that are there in the world. So there again, in the quiz competition, we had Team Athens, Team Sparta, Team Italy. And Team Athens, of course, they came out with flying colors. If we have Team Athens here, you can just raise your hand so that Sister Maria, has, an idea, as to how you went about it. Excellent, thank you. And then now finally, learning to know, learning to do, and finally, learning to be. What is the reason of our existence? Why have we come into this world? Is there a reason for our existence, or we are merely accidents, in this cosmos? And Sister Maria, let me tell all of you, we are going back into down memory lane. 1993, I have the honor and the pride of having a wonderful student like Sister Jeez Maria. She was a student 30 years back. Let's have an round of applause for Sister Jeez Maria. As a student, she enjoyed both the worlds, as they say, the best of both the worlds. For a couple of years, that institution was called as Odinra College, right? That was 1993. And then in the third year, she came, to the Department of English under the tutelage of the great Dr. Haran Malaysia herself. So third year in Gurukul, so you have the best of both the worlds. She was there in 1993, and then she went to Upaleta, where she did wonderful, miraculous work, reaching out to the unprivileged sections of the society and really igniting, as they say, the torch of knowledge. And so on account of that, if I understand it right, Sister, that you got a kind of a promotion, and you were here with us in St. Mary. She has been here in St. Mary's School. Aspirants were doing wonderful work with the kids. You see, handling kids is very tough, right? Maybe grown-up students, of course, that's a different kind of a challenge at the higher level. But in children, and the two children of this far-flung town that we have in Gujarat. But then, Sister, you have been doing, just been serving the cause of education, and you have been doing it excellently well. On this occasion, I would really thank God. I'll thank the Almighty that He has showered this blessing upon me to have students of your kind, of your breed, I would say. For this country, this world needs such dedicated people. You see, when Sister Maria is here before us, when Mother Superiors, Sister Lisa is before us, please note that they are representing an entire, not merely an organization, an entire knowledge system, I would say, an entire intellectual tradition, the entire mystical tradition of Christianity. There is so much to be learned as citizens of the world, and now of course people prefer to call themselves Dr. Nayan as netizens. We are netizens, before we surf on the net. But then all that apart, you see, it's so very important to be familiar with all the systems of philosophy that are there in the world. Whether it's Hinduism, whether it's Zoroastrianism, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Islam, right? All religions, have just one message. All religions have just one message. There is only one religion, the religion of man. There is only one language, the language of the heart. And there is only one caste, the caste of humanity. And there is only one God, who is omnipresent, omnipotent. I'm really thankful, sister, for your making it possible. I know that, as administrators, you can't be free. Because there's one work after another always waiting for you. I've been experiencing this all these years. But then despite that schedule, you find Sister Maria, I just had to share my thoughts with her. And she very graciously, she accepted. So, we are eternally thankful to you. You embody the Spirit of Christ. You embody, Mother Superior. You're so full of love. I could sense and feel that love that you have. Do bless our students, with lots of wisdom, lots of knowledge, lots of physical, mental strength, courage, all the virtues that we have, right? Moving from prudence to truthfulness, to chastity, to purity, to humility, to perseverance, all the virtues, it's so very important to see what I could learn. And one of the things that I have observed as a third person is that, all of you have bonded very well. I'm sure you will feel this growth in you. You will feel this love in you. Have respect for each other. F5 students need to respect their 5 students. You see, respect, love, brotherhood, humanity. These are the things which really matter at the end of the day. Nothing else matters. Throw away anger. Don't be angry with anybody. Right? Anger is the worst enemy. It's enemy number 1. Don't be ever angry. Give and forgive. The self, it is said, the self lives by taking and forgetting. The real self lives by giving and forgiving. With these few words, I once again thank the head of the department, Kirti Madam, and of course, our real stalwarts, I would say them, Dr. Nain, Aditi, and Parul are really grooming up for having taken pains at organizing the Literary Fest